Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sports Tea. Tonight I'm going to discuss the game against Serbia. It was a great game to watch. Steph Curry had a personal game high of 36 and set a record for the most three-point shots made in an Olympic game ever, with 9 shots behind the arc. This was the first game where he played like Steph Curry and was able to knock down shot after shot after shot all game long. It was just amazing. He looked like a mystical figure out there on the floor, just lighting up the court. The best players in the NBA got together to beat Jokic, the supposed best player in the world. Before we get into that, though, please like the video, subscribe to Sports Tea, and feel free to comment on what you thought of today's semifinal game that was really close. So, Ephraim Salam, he guest appeared on The Odd Couple. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he was in place of Rob Parker today, and he reacts to the big win. He has an interesting take as to why the game was so close. So let's hear his explanation of why the game came so close and why he was bothered by it.
And as for what's going on with the U.S. team, it was interesting because after the game, Steph had made a comment, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. He was like, look, we got all the talent in the world. I'm paraphrasing here. Right. We got all the talent in the world, but sometimes we can overpass, right?
Did you see that? Do you feel like
100%? Because you can get the ball in a normal NBA game because you're the guy. Everybody on that team is the guy on their team, except for Derek White. But if you get the ball and you're open, you're going to take the shot. But what happens is you look and you're like, oh, man, that's KD over there. Or to the left, oh, that's LeBron over there. And then you got Steph cutting through the paint. It's like, oh, I'm not going to shoot this one. Right. So that mindset causes you to be a step slower, right? Turnovers were extremely high, and Serbia took advantage of the turnovers. But just that little thing, right? That minute thing of an all-star, they're all stars, of an all-star not taking advantage of something he sees because in his mind, there's a better option over there. That's the thing. Serbia, they're free. They're running the offense through the Joker. Go ahead.
And I want to ask you, I want to talk more about Steph, KD, and LeBron in the next segment. But quickly, I want to ask you, because it sounds like you're giving an explanation, which makes sense, and I agree with, as to why this game was close. Like, it was actually, we almost lost. Are you bothered by us being so close in this game to losing, or do you look at it like almost like an NCAA tournament game where you see great teams have a nail biter with a team that's less than them, and sometimes that will happen in a one and done situation?
No, I'm bothered.
Or are you bothered? Okay,
no,
you are bothered.
I'm bothered because when you look at the collective talent we have on our team, we have all the answers. This game is why Joel Embiid is actually on the team, right? Yeah, because in the NBA,
which he tends to do against Jokic,
that is why he's here. If he's not on the team today, they have the advantage on the inside. That's why Joel, and so all this, Joel Embiid doing this, and he came out and played an MVP level game. He kept us in it, but because he can go at Nikola Jokic. He can go at him. It's a difficult guard and cover for Nikola Jokic. So that's literally why he's here. He showed up and showed out when he had to. But yeah, I'm upset because I don't want these close games. We collectively have better talent.
I do want I got exactly what I wanted today.
Oh, no, you did. You weren't watching.
Drama-filled games. But I want us to win.
Yeah, but you came.
You can't always say.
Right, but you watched when they were down 12 and came back and they were up 5. So you were like, oh, okay. So you didn't have to live in the moment.
Because I couldn't watch every moment like that. But I was seeing, we down 13. In fact, my co-host said when we were down 13, I think, with
going
about
into the fourth.
5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, but going into the fourth, we were down 14.
Right, I know. But I'm saying at that point, they were like, it's panic time. I was like, no, it's not. We got plenty of time. It's plenty of time left. And it wasn't. Now, going into the fourth, that's a different story.
All righty. So we heard what Ephraim and Chris Broussard had to say. I mean, they basically paraphrased Steph's comments, and pretty much Steph is just saying they have the best players in the world that can't play team basketball or can't figure out how to play with so much talent, which, I find to be disappointing. They've been forming super teams. Why can't you figure this out? I get that explanation and I understand that it's difficult to play with so many alpha players. I just can't understand why it's difficult for everyone to play their position on the floor. Women's Team USA doesn't struggle with this. Perhaps they might not have great defense or they're not hitting shots. But the issue is not having too much firepower. The issue is playing positionless basketball. I don't want to see Embiid shooting from three, although he's not 100% to be banging it up in the paint. So I'll give him that. But I don't want to see LeBron at the point guard position either. I just don't. It doesn't work. I want to see guys play their actual role and play beautiful basketball. It's amazing to me that no matter what is happening on the floor, certain guys are able to come off the bench and play their game in spite of the bad offense that Steve Kerr is allowing to run, along with a horrible rotation that he's going with. So, my biggest takeaway from this is that the world is not actually catching up. It's just that Team USA is playing very bad basketball, and there's really no reason to excuse this. When you look at the talent on this team, they should have blown out Serbia. They trailed the entire game. The entire game they were behind until the fourth quarter, until the end of the fourth quarter, actually. So, watching LeBron guard Jokic made me wonder, why doesn't LeBron always do this? Why does he believe that it's everyone else's job to defend while he's jacking up threes or running a losing offense? The way Jokic was unable to do what he wanted to do to LeBron, it made me mad. It made me mad because I don't see LeBron defend this way anymore. I loved that he took the defensive assignment in order to help win the game. It showed a deep will to win. There was even a moment where the team looked deflated, and it was almost like as if they had given up, and it was LeBron that willed them back into the game. I think seeing him willing to do what it takes to win, even if it means not getting the individual accomplishment of being the sole reason they won, really gave the rest of the team on the floor energy to claw their way back into this game. I thought LeBron was sensational in his defense on Jokic because he's still incredibly strong and has the ability to defend the supposed best player in the world. I know that he cannot sit in the chair for defense the entire game. I get that. But basketball is about moments, and it was really great to see him step up that way. My only critique on his fourth quarter play was that LeBron took a three-point shot with about a minute left on the clock, and I thought they lost the game. I was furious. I'm like, well, that goes the game. He just had to try to be the hero and take that shot. I'm like thinking to myself, why the hell are you bricking up shots at the end of the game? When you have four other shooters on the floor better qualified and equipped to take that critical shot. Luckily, Serbia blew the game themselves because they just weren't prepared for Team USA to actually defend full court and for everybody to be a defensive dog out there. I mean, every single person locked down. They decided to put the clamps on Serbia. They were not going to lose this game. And, I've been very critical of LeBron. Everyone knows that. But I want to give him credit for digging deep and saying to himself that he can't possibly lose to Jokic and Serbia with every single number one option in the league on this team. He was driven by that potential embarrassment. And I'd love to see him defend more often down the stretch or in late game situations. But I'm glad they're on their way to the gold medal. I do want to reiterate that the world is not catching up. Team USA could have blown them out all game, but decided to defend at the very end instead of all game long. And they came back from being down as much as 17, and I think they were down 14 points headed into the fourth quarter. What a great game. I mean, to see Kevin Durant hit the go-ahead shot that helped Curry get to the line and hit those free throws was just incredible. I also want to shout out Joel Embiid. He was a huge reason why they were able to come back because he went on a 7-0 run, hitting the shots that got them back in the game. This was his first game that he was making an impact. And I agree with Ephraim Salam that, when he stated that he is literally on Team USA to play against Serbia, he's the guy that dropped 50 on Jokic. And he's able to back him down in the paint since the Joker is just not a good defender. He's just a body on defense. So this is the perfect game for Embiid to make an impact and really show that, he deserved the MVP he got last season. So great job in the end, but winning by 4 points just didn't feel like enough. We should have blown them out. But I can go on and on and on and on and on about this all night. I just want to thank everyone for tuning into Sports Tea. Please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts on the game against Serbia, what you loved, what you didn't love, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. So have a good night, and I'll be back with some more Sports Tea.